All right, so welcome to Wire Rush Racing. I'm Charlie Hawkins. Today, I have Tanner Hunt with me. Tanner, welcome to the basement. How are you doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
Doing awesome. So yeah, Tanner is a local here to Springfield, Missouri, and I don't know how long you've been in the area, Tanner.
Since May of '96.
May of '96. And is it Missouri or is it Missouri?
Missouri.
Missouri. Where are you from, actually? Then?
Topeka, Kansas.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it is a step up. All right.
Way better.
All right. So yeah, as I said, this is Why Rush Racing Enduro Talk. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you. I don't know how many people we have watching at this moment, but I'll mention it a few times before. If you look, let me see. Yeah, down to the if you're watching this and not listening to it as a podcast, you can now comment on Facebook or YouTube, and your comments will actually show up on the stream on the video itself. So hopefully I can keep track of it a little better that way and get your comments to answered or input or whatever. So just want to say thank you. And then also a little more housekeeping here is, first of all, subscribe, like, all that stuff. One thing I think could help too, if you listen to the podcast, go on wherever you're listening to, if you're able to, give it a thumbs up, give it a rating or whatever. Let people know how amazing this podcast is or live show or whatever.
It's awesome.
It is
Follow
awesome.
it.
So I guess along those lines, have you been a fairly regular listener or watcher or whatever?
Everyone.
Everyone, right on. So how do you watch it?
I do. I YouTube it.
YouTube. Oh, okay, right on. So yeah, that's started out with YouTube. Obviously, moved to Facebook to try to get a little broader audience. So you watch it on your computer then, or on your TV, or how? TV. Because mobile devices, like, it wasn't working like on YouTube. So that's why I went to Facebook as well, to YouTube, because then I could get mobile devices.
I'm sure you get a lot more people on Facebook too.
It's actually fairly even split between the two, and then podcasts. Podcasts not so many live, but then listening to it later on is a good amount. Actually, more people probably listen to the podcast than actually watch it.
I'm not a big podcast guy, so
you're on the road a bunch though. I figured.
I used to be on the road all the time, but
So is your work? Because for work, you do sandblasting.
Yes, sir.
Remote sandblasting.
Yep.
I guess, do you not have the option? Do you listen to it when you're chugging away and just blasting stuff to death?
No.
You don't?
I wear earplugs and some big old ear muffs.
Oh, you double hearing protection.
Yes, it's really, really loud. Wow. So
what makes it so loud?
It sounds like a jet airplane whenever you're blasting. And it's got this whistle to it whenever you fire it up. So it pierces your ear, and I'd like to keep my hearing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wear a lot of ear protection when I sandblast.
Is it air that moves the abrasives?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I guess that
the machine's 185 CFM.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah,
it can put out some air.
It does. All right. So, anyways, if you have, want to talk more about sandblasting with Tanner, feel free. We'll also get more. So you have a hobby of, help me here. What's the right word for it?
We ride freestyle stand-up jet skis.
Freestyle stand-up jet skis. And I want to find out a lot more about that. If you guys got specific questions about that or comments about it, and or tell us a quick story, on that, feel free to chime in on the comments section as well. And then, so yeah, there's all kinds of ways. So anyways, Tanner, first of all, how old are you?
I'm 37.
37. So you're the old guy in the room. You got me by a year.
Well, thanks. Make me feel real old now.
Oh, come on now. And then, so you're from Topeka, Kansas, moved here in '96. How long you've been riding dirt bikes?
I started around 10 or 11.
10 or 11. And then I guess it was still in Topeka then?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. What did you ride, like on your property, or did you have to go to public property? Or
yeah,
what'd you
we
do?
had some land, and then right down the road we had a friend that had his own motocross track.
Oh, seriously? So have you ridden legitimate motocross?
Yes, we used to ride and race motocross for quite a few years.
Every now and then I'm tempted to try something.
It's fun. We still go ride every now and then.
But then I watch like YouTube videos and like I see how fast people crash.
Oh, they do crash a lot, but if you go out and ride a motocross track like me, you probably have a hard time crashing.
Because you roll a bunch?
I roll a lot.
See, I want to go out someplace that doesn't have jumps. I do some little bit of whoops or whatever, and that'd be perfect. You
Well,
know,
Charlie, when you get our age, that law of physics, what goes up must come down.
and it comes down hard.
And it does come down hard.
So yeah, not sure 177 says I watch YouTube on the TV, but this on my laptop because of the comments. All right, so yeah, that makes sense. A little easier. Have you commented on the? I've seen your comments before. I thought no.
No, I have not.
okay.
I've never tried to comment on YouTube.
No, okay. Well, I haven't watched many live videos, so I guess
it worked for me because usually I would get home later.
No, okay.
And so I'd catch up with your show probably around 9:30 or 10.
Okay.
So your show was...
so you're watching it after it's done.
Yes.
Never live. I see what you're saying. So, but yeah, so no, I'm still recovering. I don't know if people can see it or not, but got my wrist brace on here. My back's feeling much better.
Well, at least your back's better. Hopefully that wrist will get welded soon so you can ride.
Yes. I've been hitting. I got the bike over in the other room. Got the trainer. Did a solid 30 minutes today, and
that's better than me.
Tried to keep my heart rate above 140, and it hurt. It was about 25 minutes in. I'm like, oh, let it be over soon.
I'll do my workout right now.
Yeah, we got our 12-ounce curls
12-ounce curl.
Yeah. There we go. But yeah, so I'm trying. I want to get back on the bike. Honestly, I haven't even cleaned my bike. It's still upstairs in the garage, dirty. Because I'm like, this wrist is sensitive.
Monday, I spent 4 hours washing our bikes. 4 hours after the last AXC race.
More than one bike, then?
Yep, I washed me and Troy's.
Oh, okay. So that might, yeah, because I'll spend about 2 hours. My wife, not happy the entire time. She's like, "Why aren't you done yet?" And I'm like, "Still got this, that, and the other to do." You know, between, and then what she gets frustrated is kind of have everything cleaned up, and then at the very end, I always get on my bike and take it for a spin through the neighborhood because I want things to get hot and get the water off, right?
Yeah, you got to get it off.
And so, but she thinks I'm done, and then I start the bike and leave for 5-10 minutes, and she's not happy. But anyways, what can you do? Go boy. So Stacy Bennett, do you know who that is?
Yes, I do. That's my girlfriend.
Oh, hey Stacy, welcome to the show. And yeah, Bobby, definitely did scorpion myself. So I think I talked about it, and if you haven't watched my video from Bartow Ranch, why my back hurt is I tried to see if I could touch the heel to my back of my head.
That's not a good idea.
Let me tell you, it doesn't work too well when you're 36. So.
No, we're too old for that.
I thought I could take this rut, and turns out the rut had other ideas. It said, yeah, you can try, but you're not going to come through. And so it's like Gandalf, like, you shall not pass. And I did not. So, but no, it's all good. And so you've been riding. So did you go from like just kind of trail riding, play riding into motocross, and then from there into you're pretty much off road now, or do you still hit some?
We'll still go play at the motocross tracks, but our main riding is racing hare scrambles.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy a good day on the motocross track.
Yeah.
But I'm that guy that if I go, I'm spending half a day just to try to get around the track.
Oh, yeah. So you've done motocross races then?
Yes, we used to race from 98 to 04.
Okay.
And then got hurt a few times.
A few too many times?
A few too many times, and then we made the switch to woods.
Oh, okay. Good switch then?
Oh, I love woods.
Why do you prefer now maybe? I mean, did you know about woods back in late 90s when you were racing that stuff? Or
Yes, I did. I worked for Steve Underwood down at Marionville.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Through high school and college. So my parts manager, he was an avid woods rider, and he was really fast, but I was always, nope, I'll go to the track. You guys tear your bikes up too much.
Oh, okay. You tear your body up too much, though.
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess knowing what you know now, would you have done more off-road?
Yes, I think I would have like to do more both of them.
Both? Better blend?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I'm very hesitant. I would like to again, but
I like the woods racing because motocross, you go do a couple motos and you may race for 15 minutes.
Yeah, for the day.
And if you have two motos, then you may get lucky and get a 30-minute ride in.
Yeah, that's one thing. So they had the Enduro cross here in Springfield, right?
Yes.
And I'm used to these hour and a half, 2 hour races, and then here comes this enduro cross, and it's a 5 minute heat. I think you get like a 5 minute practice, 5 minute heat, and then like maybe like a 7 minute main or something like that. And I was like, that's only 17 minutes, and I'm like, that's a total ripoff,
Yeah, it's too expensive to go ride for 20 minutes. Call it.
If you look at it, the racing and they say the intensity is more intense. It might be. It wasn't that good. So to really step it up to that next level of intensity, I can only ride at one level. But yeah, I kind of had that attitude of the cost value of it,
Absolutely.
And that's one thing I like. I've always been endurance has always intrigued me. Right, I like doing endurance events stuff, bicycle, whatever. I'm doing a duathlon series next week. But that's what. So I wasn't getting that because that's what I'm after when I went to the enduro cross. And so I don't know, but I don't know.
I'd much rather go to a 2 hour race than just be able to ride for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's why we do off road now. Okay, so and then do you get off road and do you trail ride often, or how often do you?
The last couple years, we haven't just went out and play road in a while. I mean, we did around Christmas and Thanksgiving, but I need to start play riding a little bit more.
Yeah.
We've just been doing a lot of racing here lately.
What I say to people is the race dates are on the calendar. That's like I'm racing.
Yes.
And it's hard to just say, all right, well, see, I'm going to go off and ride. I feel like riding today because, well, why not? So having that race on the calendar, like we're going to go do this today, schedule around that, that's what gets me out to the races. And that's why I have a tough time, conversely, of just play riding, which it's really where you can develop a lot of new skills or get rid of bad habits.
You're right.
Just doing that stuff because when you're racing, you're just thinking about what can I be doing now to go faster.
Yep.
So, all right. So, you got a few comments here. I haven't been looking. Oh, Scorpion, Aaron Blavelt, what's possible? Something's possible. And then Lake Marchant likes turtles. All right, Lake.
I like turtles.
Good. What's your favorite turtle? Box turtle?
Snapping turtle.
Snapping turtle. No way. Those are the ones that was fun as a kid. You'd find them in your front lawn or whatever, and would take a stick and try to get in its mouth and get it to bite onto it and see how long we can hold it up in the air. There's some big ones. What is Craig's favorite? Craig. Tanner. Oh, Craig. I don't know. We'll write that down. We don't have Craig on yet, but I will ask that. So, Craig, favorite hare scramble and enduro. We will ask. Yeah. Oh, so Aaron says it's possible to touch your feet to the back of your head. So Aaron, with the amount of crashes he's had, I would think he would know. I think
you're probably capable of it.
You're speaking from personal experience. So not sure. 170 says to work on intensity, do short sprints against the clock. Yes, that's one thing I like to have. So did you do the off-road cup this year?
Yes, I did.
So that's what was your strategy when you did it?
This year, me and my brother Troy and Doc, we all went into it pretty open-minded, and we said we was going to go out and do one lap apiece this year.
Okay,
just to try to stay
from
fresh
the very get-go.
From the very get-go. That way, you feel a little fresher way later into the day.
Yeah, did it work?
It did for us, I think.
Yeah. So one thing I always kind of notice a little boost in my performance at the races after the off-road cup. I didn't do it this year because you kind of get your sprint practices in, right?
Yes, you do.
My attitude was I got one lap to do, push hard, because you can take a break afterwards for 40, 50 minutes.
And that's where we all was.
And so it was kind of like it's like doing sprint workout, just like Justin's saying there. And so, yeah, I swear I don't have proof of this, but I always seemed like my results a few places higher right after the off-road cup. And then I carry that performance on just because I kind of get that that practice session in.
Yeah, and the
essentially.
confidence of going a little bit faster,
little out of your comfort zone.
more comfortable, pushing it a little bit longer.
Yeah. So
I agree.
I tell myself I need to get out to Hardwood Hills or Chadwick and just get a loop and just do it.
That's what we all need to do. Get a good group in and go out to Chadwick and tear it up.
Set like a 20-minute timer or a 15-minute timer and just push it,
Mike Parrish, you got some work to do.
Yes. David Dance. Yes, I'm pretty sure that Aaron can do that, David. Comment there. Stacy Bennett says, "Hey, Dad, Tanner, I think you can whip. Oh, can you whip your dirt bike? Can you whip it?
Not very good, no.
But you can. I'd keep it straight as an arrow. So you can get a little twist in there?
Little bit, but not very far.
Sounds like you're being a little modest. I don't know.
I'm old.
You're old, but you?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Who is so your brother? Who could do a better whip, you or your brother?
Oh, me.
You? Oh, for sure, hands down.
Troy's faster, but
you got more style.
I got more style.
There you go. All right. So, what is? I guess first of all, so what series? Yeah, I don't know. Is it plural series or is it series still? What series have you done?
We've raced the Moore Series, the Hillbilly GPs, and this year we're doing the AXCs.
Okay, and you've
in
done
Arkansas.
So you kind of got to. Have you ever done the Missouris?
Yeah, we let's see, 07, 08, 09, we did quite a few Missouri State races.
Okay, and what about the Arkansas Hare Scramble?
Never done one.
No. What of the series that you've done? What's your favorite?
Hillbillies.
Hillbilly. What? I guess why?
I like the tight technical stuff.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. I mentioned this to you earlier. I'm doing some of these enduros. There's always one test where I'm like, spud cut. It's got nothing on this, and it's a challenge for me.
That has to be brutal. Tight.
It is. It is so brutal. But yeah. So I do enjoy the spud cut. I like the challenge of it. It's like Hardwood Hills has one section you go through, and I just dread it. And you start seeing these every time I start seeing these small little saplings. I'm like, oh gosh, here it comes. And yeah, sure enough, it's tight and just as wide as your bars and kind of curving around, and you can't be leaning and rolling through the corners. You got to kind of stand up your bike a little more and
use your pegs.
Yeah, use your pegs a little more. So with that, what's your favorite race you've done? I didn't prep him with this question.
Man.
What's your most memorable race?
The Off-Road Cup that year, I did the Ironman.
Oh, you Ironmaned it one year.
Yes.
How many years ago was this?
2 years ago.
Okay, so that was back at this would have been Wyandotte. Okay. Yeah. So how good weather?
Yeah, it was great weather, and it was just a long day. Aaron Roberts, Chili.
Yeah.
Jordan, you guys are animals.
Yeah. Rick Simmons,
yes. He killed it this year at the Off-Road Cup. Congrats to you, Rick. That was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those guys, I didn't walk right for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That is 9 hours of racing on that rough track will beat you down quick.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I say I like doing endurance stuff. I have no desire. It's like doing ultra marathons. I have no desire to do those or an Ironman, like the 9 hours.
I did it one time. I said never again. And at the end of the day, with a 3-man team, it's bad enough. So you can only imagine Ironman in it. It was, woo.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Gutbuster 24-hour race?
Yes, you guys are nuts.
Well, who would you say that? It's a 5-man team, though. You can have up to 5 people, I should say.
I'd have to be the guy racing during the day because I'd have to sleep at night.
It might have been 6. I forget. Yeah, I almost got a team together for last year, but then I still don't have headlights or anything like that. But yeah, you got a point. Nighttime would be a little.
That'd be hard.
I like my sleep.
I do too.
And then there's also one down in like Perryville or something like that, another 24-hour race. And then is it Arcadia? Like another one in I want to say New York or something like that Chili and Jordan are going to. So no, those are fun. I really enjoy doing, the off-road cup. At some point, Gutbusters, because that's where we were at Bartow Ranch, Callisburg, Texas. It's right. So like if you're, you know where McAllister, Oklahoma is.
Yes.
You know, you're taking Highway 69, it turns into 75 right at near the Texas border there. So essentially, you're getting to Texas, take a right for like 20, 30 minutes, and that's where Callisburg, Texas is. And so that's where the Gutbuster is if people are ever interested in. It's a pretty interesting event. Last year was kind of a mutter and total miserable mess, it seemed like. I think they actually cut it short to like 12 hours or something like that just because of conditions.
Maybe one year, Charlie, will have to get us a team together and go try that.
Yes. Show those.
At least do it once.
Yeah, it is like a bucket list race, isn't it? Probably.
Yeah, I think so. Never tried an
it's like a hard
race that long.
It's like a hard enduro. It's like, yeah, I've been there, done that. All right, move on.
Yep.
So, yeah, so like the rev limiter or the TKO or I don't know about if anybody can just show up and race the TKO, but or the Battle of the Goats. You know, I'd like to do maybe each one of those once at some point. Say, did it?
Did it? Tried it. Done with it.
Cost me $300, and well, no, that'd be on the cheap end, but $300 in parts. Let's go home. But now, here, time. Yep. So we want to talk a little about your freestyle jet skis. Did I leave a few words out there?
You did good.
So I see about a 50-50 split when it comes to your Facebook about dirt bikes versus these monstrosities that you make. First of all, they're not your Sea-Doos.
Absolutely not.
We don't speak those words, right?
No, these are not a couch that you ride across the lake.
These are stand-up Sea-Doos that are it takes a much more athletic ability to ride these things.
Yeah, they will wear you out really quick.
Yeah. So what you said, there's different sizes. There's not, and then you custom build like from the ground up these things.
Yeah, so we buy holes, and then, of course, we'll buy a motor package from DASA. We have a friend out in California.
What's DASA?
They make billet motors.
Okay, aluminum.
All billet custom aluminum.
Is that for weight savings then, I guess?
Yeah, it makes them
quite
lighter.
A bit later.
And then, of course, obviously, with their cylinders, they can just bore them out and go much bigger.
Oh, okay.
We run 1,100cc DASA in our two Crash Industry skis.
I'm sorry, what's Crash Industry?
It's a company out of Australia that builds freestyle holes.
So you're bringing holes in from Australia, motors in from, you said, California?
Yes.
And then, so the hole, does that include the framework? Or is that just like the fiberglass body and you got to build the framework inside of it to keep it, like the motor mounts and all that stuff?
They have motor mounts built in the holes. But
okay.
Yeah, other than that, it's just a bare hole, mount a pump in it. Put your motor in there, fuel tank, got to wire everything. It's a lot of work.
Okay, so 1,100cc, how many horsepower does that translate to?
Our skis, anywhere from, I'd just guess, 160 to 180.
Really? Oh, my God. So that's just, first of all, that's crazy.
Yeah, a stock ski makes around 50 to 60 horse.
So that'd be like a dirt bike.
Yes.
But then you're doubling it essentially, or a little more. I guess what's the point of having 180 horsepower on a jet ski?
Do backflips.
Do you need that much horsepower to do a backflip? Does it make it easier?
It makes it a lot easier.
So can you do a backflip?
I've landed on my head a few times.
Was that a yes or a no?
No.
Oh, okay. So you tried.
I try.
So when you land on your head, does a jet ski land on you then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But you just hang on to it and let it drive you on the water, so it's not too bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It don't hurt. Last year was our first year for having the big horse motors, the DASAs. So this summer, we'll be busting out some backflips for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Uh-oh. We need video evidence of this now.
Oh, I'll get the GoPros out for that.
Oh, we need it. Oh, yeah. I don't say GoPros. I want to see it from somebody else, though.
Okay.
I don't know. You can kind of use your creative imagination, I guess, if it's, first person.
Well, we'll just have to have you come down to the lake and film us.
There we go. Okay. I might have to try it out, too.
There you go.
But no, I see these things. They're like just super awesome looking. They're kind of like works of art. Just real colorful. And they look mint. It's kind of like you definitely take care of it whenever it's not.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive toys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like having a real nice boat. So of course you want to take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got all the time into building it.
So do you, I mean, like people go to the lake and they'll cruise around and go to the cove or whatever. When you're doing a jet ski, do you kind of stay in one area, or do people cruise on jet skis, or?
We'll go for rides, but yes, usually we're staying around our boat dock down in Kimberling City.
Okay.
I mean, we'll go for little rides, and when we had the stock skis, we'd go ride all over.
You would?
But with these big horse skis, I mean, they wear you out so fast.
They do.
Yeah, I can only ride one for 15, 20, 30 minutes.
Can you just cruise it?
Yeah, you can.
You
but
can?
it's like riding a CR 500.
Okay.
They don't like just to be putting along. They want to.
They want to.
They want to go.
Interesting. So, so you got that. This year, you said you're going to be doing the Arkansas series again.
Yes, we've been doing the AXC series this year.
And then, are you going to do any other series this summer, or?
We're going to run the Moore series too.
I'm thinking about doing that as well because there's coming a break in the Blackjack series, and I was like, Moore's kind of works out well. Of course, they overlap at the next race, so I'll miss the first Moore race.
Yeah, I doubt we do all of them, but we're going to try to do a majority of them.
One thing
I've always liked the Moore series.
Well, the one thing I really like about the Moore is it seems like, with the Missouris and the Hillbillies, the two that I've done the Moores as well. It's been a while. I didn't really do many of the last 2 years. They pretty much, so from 3 years ago, they pretty much have all new tracks, like new properties altogether.
And that's what I'm excited about.
And none of them overlap. Like a lot of the Hillbillies kind of use the same as the Missouris. For example, Steelville, Kilburn Woods, Westphalia, Hardwood Hills, all those, there's at least 4 there that are both Missouri and Hillbilly locations, properties, right?
Yep.
Moore, it's all only Moore, and I've never done them. So I forget the first one that's coming up. You can go to racemore.net to find out more about it.
Yes, I can't remember where it was.
It's something Thayer.
Thayer, yes,
Thayer?
up in Thayer.
No idea where that is because I've never been there.
It's up towards West Plains.
Oh, okay. So that one and just all of them really. Only one I have been to is Panther Creek.
Panther Creek was fun.
Yeah, it's a great place, and it's like 1,500 acres there. And so he puts on, there's a lot of new track each time you go. So
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, so Steve's put a lot of new work into, Justin, I plan on running B-Vet, actually. I'm 35 now, or 36. So, yeah, B-Vet for me. So
that's what I'm going to run to.
The B-Vet?
Yep.
Yeah, good. So, because you haven't ran B yet, have you much?
The AXC series, I've been running the B35 class.
Okay. What about the Hillbillies?
Over the winter, I didn't even do a single Hillbilly this year.
I thought I saw you out there. No. Okay. But so good. All right. We'll get a race in some this summer, hopefully.
Yes, we will.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to the Moores because he's put a ton of work into that. Steve Levan has. To find out more about that series, go to www.racemore.net. And you know what? My scroll banner is not accurate, people. This is not Ian Hanners with No Bad Day Films. This is Troy Hunt. Tanner Hunt. And I always forget something. So anyways, it's about that time. We're going to give Craig Delong here a call in just a second. Last weekend was the X Factor. Do you keep up with the national scene at all?
I do a few of them. Keep an eye on a little bit.
Have you ever raced?
No, I haven't. It'd be fun, though.
I would love to go out to Ironman sometime. It's the closest.
Yes, in Indiana, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Crawfordsville. Yep, that would be fun.
It's only a short 8-hour drive from here, I think. And then a little further away is X Factor. This was also in Indiana, but not quite as close. But Craig Long was there, and let's see what's going on with him.
Hello?
Craig?
Yep.
Hey, welcome to Enduro, talking Why Rush Racing. I'm Charlie Hawkins. I'm here with
Tanner Hunt.
Sorry, Tanner Hunt. And we're glad you could join us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and I just want to say for people that may not know, Tanner is, Tanner. Sorry. Craig is the GNCC XC3 class and the full gas sprint enduro. You're doing the Pro 1, and then you are racing for Coastal Racing. Is all that correct?
Yeah, I'm in the XC2 class actually.
You know what?
Same thing, pretty much. It's close enough.
I'm an amateur here. All right, so XC2. My apologies. I knew that. And then, so where are we finding you today? Are you home since you got a week off, or where are you at?
Yeah, I'm pretty much at home right now. Did a little riding today, and just yeah, kind of hanging out and relaxing.
And where is home for you?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Where at? What part of the state is it?
Eastern PA, so like
Okay.
Harrisburg.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
No, Eastern. That's about as accurate as I'm going to be able to get. So probably north of Philadelphia then.
Yeah, a little bit west of Philly.
Okay.
Or Philadelphia.
There we are. And then, so you're a part of Coastal Racing. What can you tell me a little bit about the team and who some of your teammates are and what classes they're in?
Yeah, so Coastal Racing it was started. The first year was 2016, and the owner, he owns a drilling company, and just a real enthusiast of the sport, and just wanted to help out people that needed rides. And so the first year was myself, Ryan Sipes, and Lane Michael.
Oh, really?
And then we were on that team for 2 years. I've been there, since it started, but they have since gone elsewhere. And
So when was that? When did it start?
2016 was the first year they had the team.
Okay, so you're in the fourth year of it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, and then this year my teammate is I actually have three teammates. Ben Parsons, who races the XC2 class, and then Ian Flynn, he races the four-stroke A lights class, and then Alex Patterson races four-stroke B lights.
Okay, right on. Yeah, we have some local kids here some local young men here that are race the four-stroke lights as well.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you don't do the national enduro. I was gonna say they do those, and then they've been hitting the GNCC series as well. So that'd be Nathan Rector and Travis Renaud.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's been a few years since I've done the Enduro series.
Yeah. And then, so that's one thing. You go to the Coastal Racing's, I want to say, Facebook page, and they also have like a YouTube channel. They have some wild. Do they still do the trophy truck class racing too, or like?
Yeah, that's one of the owners. Like the owner, he's big in the Baja and the trophy trucks, and he's won Baja in like a Razor
As a driver?
Yeah, as a driver,
Oh,
and
wow.
then he's just got a trophy truck now, or a class or spec truck is what they call it. It's not quite a trophy truck.
Okay.
But yeah, he's been doing the Mint 400 series, and then or the Best in the Desert. I'm sorry, and then the Score, which is the Baja series. So just something he enjoys doing. He loves to drive, and then his son Eli, who also raced a four-wheeler last year for the team. He drives in the truck, and then his soon-to-be son-in-law also drives too.
Oh, wow. So that whole family's got a need for speed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, let's talk about your need for speed. How long have you been riding for? And then how long have you been racing for as well?
I've been riding since I was 4, and I didn't race until I was about 7. So 15 years racing, I guess 15 or 16 years, and then riding for 18.
Yeah. So, Craig, how old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
You're 22. All right. And then, so growing up, did you do many enduros, or was it mainly like hare scramble or cross country racing, or what kind of racing did you primarily do?
Growing up, I did mostly hare scrambles. In my area, we had the ECA and Enduro series, which is you had to be, I think it was because their series went in New Jersey, you had to be 18 to race in New Jersey, and then 16 else like anywhere else.
Wait, hold on. You had to be, in order to race, you had to be 18?
No, the Enduro series, because you needed a license
Oh, for
to
road.
do. Yeah,
For
so
transfers.
so the Hare Scramble series was like for, I mean, younger people. So, my brother and I, we grew up racing the ECA Hare Scramble series, and then we graduated into doing, we started doing the GNCCs, and then, we've been there ever since. So,
So is your brother Andrew then?
yeah, yep.
You are brothers. Okay. You had different hometowns or where you live is listed differently. So I was like, are they brothers or not? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he's actually lives. It's actually 2 miles from where I live. It happens to be a different town. So.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So mystery solved. It wasn't really all that much of a mystery.
I didn't know they were brothers.
I just didn't want to assume. And like not only that, but like on the results, like one of you had a capital D. I think Andrew had a capital D and you had a lowercase d. And so I was like, well,
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah.
I just was, without asking. I didn't want to. I did ask. So, but anyways, so okay.
How far apart are you and your brother in age?
6 years.
Oh, and wait, see, who's the older?
He's 28.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, I would think because he's been around for quite a while then.
Yeah, he's been racing the GNCCs since 2011, and he's XC1 now. So, and 28.
So did he let you figure out all the mistakes and pitfalls, or did he help guide you along the way much? Or did he guide you into the pitfalls?
No, he never guided me the wrong way. I've just been around. I've just watched everything he did, and I was really observant, and kind of saw what not to do, because he's had a string of bad luck and crashes and injuries, and I kind of saw that when I was younger, so I try not to crash. But yeah, he's been a big help. We ride together and train together a lot. It's nice because we're similar in speed, so we push each other. And that's it's fun. We usually riding with someone typically a little bit slower or faster, and it's nice because we're the same speed. Like we can go out and we can follow each other. Like he can lead a few laps and I can lead a few laps. It makes things a lot more fun when you can do stuff together, and keep each other motivated. So he's been a big help to me, like to get me where I'm at now. And so I gotta owe a lot of my success to him.
So that's your big tip on going fast is don't crash, huh?
Yeah, I guess, or just be really lucky and not hit the ground, I guess. But just watching him, and because he kind of broke the barrier and kind of started doing the nationals and doing well and got support from Husqvarna, before they were owned by KTM, and then he kind of got my foot in the door too, and then there's just kind of snowballed from there, and then just all my support is kind of stemmed off of just him doing well in the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a question here from Bobby. Enduros or sprint enduros? Which do you prefer?
To be honest with you, they're both. I think they're both. Their pluses and minuses. I really like the enduros for the trail. Some of the national enduros have some great trail, and it's a lot of fun. But the sprint enduros, typically, the racing is a lot closer and it's better for the spectators. Which it's nicer because you can go out and you can ride, 5 minutes is basically what a test is, and you can, you wait 30 minutes, you can work on your bike and you can kind of calm down and take a break and realize what you did wrong. Where the enduros, you can kind of do the same thing, but the tests are longer, and you're sometimes you have a transfer to another test, and you can't get to your pits, and you kind of have to wait, and they both have their pros and cons. I mean, I've done them both, and I I love them both. Like I've always enjoyed doing the enduros just because of the trail and all that stuff. So I don't really have a preference. I mean, I kind of
You just like racing.
yeah, like I didn't really have a choice to do the national enduros this year because Husqvarna kind of they wanted me to do the sprint enduros because I've always struggled with sprints like in the GNCC. So they figured doing that series would help me, step my game up. So
Yeah.
but I mean they're both really good.
Yeah. And then Justin here has a comment saying XC2 starts are crazy. I'm not sure exactly
Yeah.
what he means. How is that? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you think he means by saying they're crazy?
It's just it can get pretty crazy. There's a lot of people. Usually, it's one of the biggest classes, so 25, 30 guys on a line, and a lot of two strokes. So they all get two strokes. They get good starts. So I mean, sometimes you're going in there 15 people wide, and it's you're bumping and banging, and there's $100 on the line. Some people they go crazy for $100. So
they smell blood. They want it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you got guys that they just go out for the whole shot, and they just like they straight up kill you in the first turn. It's crazy. So you kind of you kind of got to watch, where you start, and be aware who's around you because there's some guys that'll, they want that $100.
What Husqvarna are you racing in the GNCC class?
I'm on an FC 250, so it's a 250F. So.
And then we had another question from Bobby. He was saying he wanted to know what's your favorite hare scramble or enduro?
My favorite.
Maybe just track, or
Yeah, is he want like just anywhere or
yeah, sure.
like,
any doesn't have any series or anything.
that's tough. I really enjoyed the National Enduro in Indiana. I think it's called the Covered Bridge.
No.
Yeah, that seems to be my favorite one. They run it a little bit earlier now, but when I was doing the enduros, it was the last race of the year.
Okay.
And it was in like October, November, so the dirt was really good. Like it wasn't dry and dusty. It was pretty loamy, and just the fields, like they have great trail, and then they'll send you through the trail, and then like you'll pop out in a cornfield and you go, as fast as your bike will go across the cornfield for half a mile, and it's just fun because it's different. You don't typically go across a cornfield 5-6 times a test.
Yeah.
Going across. So
wow.
Just a lot of fun, just different stuff. So that probably my favorite race.
All right, so you're starting off good, I think, for the first two sprint enduros, and then you had an injury. What happened to you?
Yeah, the second sprint enduro, it was on day 2. I was having a good day. I won the first enduro test of the day on Saturday and was like in the top 3 overall. And yeah, just coming into some braking bumps, I don't know if I was going faster or hit them harder, but I blew my hand off coming into the braking bumps and just went over the bars and the bike. It happened really fast, so I don't know if the bike hit me or if I hit the ground really hard and broke my collarbone. So yeah, so I couldn't. They didn't want to do surgery on me because it was like a perfect break, but for my situation, it was kind of crappy because if I would have got it plated, I could have, raced a little sooner, but I had to let it heal naturally because it was like a perfect break. So I was out for, I think I was out for 5 weeks. 5 weeks is when I started riding again.
Okay, and then since then you've raced. You haven't raced any sprint enduros, I don't believe, since then, but you have raced 2 GNCCs.
Yeah, I haven't raced any sprints since then, and then the last 2 GNCCs.
And then I think you had what was it like an 8th, and then you didn't get you got second last weekend, right?
Yeah, so I got released 2 days before the Camp Coker GNCC is when I got released.
Oh, 2
So
days. Wow. Yeah.
so I rode pretty much about an hour and a half before GNCC in South Carolina.
Did you feel pretty good after your first day back on a bike?
Uh, I felt okay. I mean, I was more happy than anything. But definitely sore. Just weak. I couldn't even do a push up yet. I probably shouldn't have been riding, to be honest with you, but I got the okay, so I was like all for it.
Did you
So
do a lot of stationary bike while you was hurt?
yeah, every day I was doing about 2 hours a day. So
I got a half hour
pretty
in today. I felt pretty good about it.
I'd have a heart
yeah
attack.
Wow, impressive. Yeah. So
yeah
you're able to keep your cardio up at least, not necessarily your strength, but your cardio.
yeah. I'd spent a lot of time on my stationary bicycle, just spinning and watching a lot of YouTube videos, try to make time go by.
Yes, yes. And so with that though, obviously your season points, right? You can't really look at that anymore, or the overall. What are your goals now for the remainder of the season?
To be honest with you, is just I got to win races.
So you want to be on the
That,
top
that
step?
yeah, I felt coming into the season the way I was riding and the way I was riding at that second sprint enduro before I got hurt. Like I was running up front like with guys like Thad Duvall and Josh Toth, and like I was competitive with those guys at that sprint enduro before I ended up getting hurt. So like coming into the season, I had a lot of confidence, and I knew I was riding good. I rode all winter, a lot of time, this winter with Thad Duvall, and like we trained together a good bit, and um, I knew I was riding good just basing off of him, and I was really excited coming into the season, and just kind of just threw a wrench in the plans, and I didn't really, you know, my plan was to win the XC2 championship this year, but obviously it's not really going to happen now. So really, the only thing that's going to make me happy is to win races and try to, stop Ben Kelly. So
Yeah, I was gonna say he has quite a streak going on. You looking forward to spoiling it?
yeah, for sure. It seems like nobody's really been able to stop him. To be honest with you, I mean, um, I figured at least someone would have, challenged him a little bit so far, but
He's won every
um,
one by a few minutes. I mean, it's
yeah, I mean, even on Sunday, he beat me by a good bit, and I got some work to do, but it's doable, and I'm trying to get there.
yeah.
What is your workout regimen like?
Um, it varies day to day. I mean, like today, I didn't do much. I just pretty much rode. I did some motos, and it rained here, so rode in the rain. But yesterday I went for a mountain bike ride in the morning, and kind of didn't really go out and try to kill myself, but did a nice ride, and then I came back, and then I did a good about 2 hours worth of motos, and then yeah, it's pretty much it.
Awesome. So how does that work? Because like in like the full gas, you're in the Pro 1 class, right?
Mhm.
And then, but for the full gas or for the GNCCs, you decided to do XC2. I guess why the two different or different classes, and is there the bike or what kind of drove that decision?
Um, yeah, the XC2 class is pretty much that was it was a mutual decision from Husqvarna and myself and Coastal Racing for me to race XC2. Just because that's what I've been racing, and they would really like a championship in that class. So they picked me to try to deliver that for them. So and then the sprint enduros, I'm on a 350, so I have to ride the Pro 1 class because it's you know it's an open class. You can ride whatever you want, but to be competitive, like in grass tracks and everything, because a lot of the pros like Strang and Ashburn, they're on 450s, and like Caleb Russell and Thad Duvall, they're on 350s. So a 250F it's hard to keep up with that in a grass track. So That's kind of the reason why I'm on a 350 there. And then, yeah, just something so I can move up to that, someday, and get used to it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a building block if you pretty much.
What bike do you like riding better, the 250 or the 350?
To be honest with you, the 350 just because it's new to me. I don't really have a ton of experience on it. It's got more power. It's a little easier to ride. But I like my 250F just, when you want to go out and just, when you're a little bit angry or something, you can just rev it to the moon and just kind of ride, just ride it. But the 350 for sure, just because of the power and just a lot more fun.
Can you tell much of a weight difference between the two?
Like picking them up on the stand, not really, but I think riding it, I do a little bit, just with I want to say the inertia, just because it's a little more power and just trying to slow it down. I mean, it's not a lot, but I can tell a little bit, just here and there, trying to slow it down and just a little more weight. But no, not really too much.
Okay. So last weekend was the X Factor. The term I keep seeing when the people on the Instagrams or whatnot is technical. Why was that track more technical than I guess a lot of the more recent races that have been going on?
Pretty much because it was muddy. It rained. Well, they got a bunch of rain like the week of the race, and the ground was just saturated. So, I mean, the quads it rained Saturday morning actually for the ATVs. So
They
I think
did
it
what
went.
in the morning?
It rained. It rained in the morning
Oh,
for the ATVs, and then so I mean I don't think it would have been as bad if it didn't rain Saturday morning. But it rained for like 4 hours up until like about like 12 o'clock. So the ground was really wet and just muddy. And by the time we got to like on the track, it was actually really good in spots, but most spots it was really slimy and kind of rutted up. But it was just technical because it rutted up and you had to pick your lines really good and just slimy. You had to stay on your toes and it was easy to make a mistake and fall in the mud and lose a lot of time. So it was just technical, just because it was mentally and physically like draining.
okay. Did you drop your bike much or have any get offs?
I actually only fell one time, so I was very lucky that way.
No, what happened there?
I just made a bobble. It was actually right off the start. We went in the woods and went up this little embankment, and just a little bobble. I was kind of rutted up going up the hill, and I kind of got cross-threaded. Like my front tire was in one, and my rear tire was another one, and kind of lost my balance and just tipped over a little bit. And I got going again, but I just got passed by about 5 guys. So
Oh.
wasn't a huge deal, but it was off the start, so it was kind of not the best place for it.
No, that's not no fun there. And then so is this coming? No, not this weekend, but the following weekend. You have the John Penton
Yep.
GNCC race. Can you give me a little preview of what you kind of expect there, and then predictions of your class, and then also for the XC1, what you think who might take home the top step there?
Yeah, the Penn, that place is tricky. Sometimes it can be dry and perfect dirt, or like last year it looked perfect, but it was like riding on ice. I mean, the sun was out and there was no rain, but it was really, really slick.
Really,
Yeah,
was the ground moist? I mean, like,
yeah, it was moist. Like it rained on Saturday, but like
okay,
in the fields, it was like the fields were dry, hard packed, like blue groove almost.
mm-hmm.
But in the woods, it was slimy and muddy.
Okay,
But I mean, it's usually really hot there. It's a little bit earlier this year than it was in years past, so it might not be as hot. But it's usually really hot and humid, and then it's just a tough track. I mean, it's usually they have a section. It's called the John Penton section. It's like usually for the bikes only, and it's about like last year was like 3 miles of like it's pretty much enduro trail. It's tighter. It's single track, no quads run it, so it's tight and it's tougher trail. I mean, you're going over logs and up creeks, up hills. It's technical.
Yeah.
So, but predictions. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, last year I had a really good ride there. I led pretty much 3/4 of the race in XC2, and I just I fell apart going into the last hour pretty much. Just the heat got to me, and the parachute was out, and it was I was
going the wrong
I was
direction.
Hurt. Yeah, I was hurting. So but Ben's gonna be hard to beat. He's won every race for a reason. So
you think it's gonna be a battle between you and Ben? That's what I'm hearing. You're gonna come out on the top step.
I don't want to say that, but that's what I'm hoping.
There you go. Well, we'll be rooting for you, I know. And then, do you think Caleb Russell's going to kind of continue what he's been doing, or do you think there could be a spoiler in there? Thaddeus has been really close.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, the last couple of years there, Caleb's kind of been hit or miss, and that's kind of been his track lately. The last couple of years. I mean, he won. Was it 2 years ago? But he ended up getting docked because of a line he was pointed by a spectator.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
But I mean, last year he smoked everybody. But
okay.
he's good in those conditions where it gets tough and slick and slimy, and he's really good there. And just he lives 45 minutes from there, so he's got a lot of hometown people and a lot of friends and family. So yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if Thad wins next weekend.
Okay. And then before we let you go, a few things. First of all, sponsors. Who gets you out to the races?
First of all, I gotta thank Coastal Racing. They've been a big help for the last 4 years. I mean, they give me a place to stay out where their team is based out of, and I can't thank them enough for giving me a ride, and just I've been with them 4 years, so they're pretty much like my second family. And then also Husqvarna. I've been with Husqvarna since ever since I got on the big bike. I've gotten support through Husqvarna, so got to thank them. And then Bicon, it's like another sponsor that Coastal has. And then
what is Bicon?
It's a company with the pipeline business.
No.
So they're a big supporter with our team, and then also with other sponsors like Moose and Maxxis tires, Bell helmets, X-Brand goggles, Alpine Star boots, XC gear, Renthal bars, Achurbis. I mean, there's a lot of people out there like my mechanic Tyler, my dad, my mom, my brother and his wife Angelina, and my girlfriend, and just a lot of people out there that help me out and try to make me do or be the best I can be. So
absolutely,
yeah. So there's a lot of people out there. So
absolutely, yeah. And then because like you said, like it's always good the family. They've been there supporting you for a very long time, and
yeah, exactly.
And you have no bigger fans than them, so that's awesome. And then the best way to reach you or follow you on Instagram is it Craig Delong 10?
Yeah, yep, Craig Delong 10.
And then are you on Facebook as well, or is it pretty much all through Instagram and you just kind of forward on?
No, I have a Facebook. It's just Craig DeLong, and then I have a Twitter, but I don't really go on Twitter much. But
yeah.
But yeah, it's Instagram and then Facebook is usually those are that's how I keep up on.
I like you. You usually do a race report for most of your races, and I enjoy kind of just scrolling through those and checking them out and seeing how you're doing. So
yeah, I try to keep up with it and let everybody know how everything's going. So
yeah, good, bad, or ugly. You kind of
yeah, right.
Yeah. So like, oh no, broken collarbone, and then this last weekend, hey, second, great. So But no. So Craig, good luck this next weekend. Hopefully you can get opportunity to get on that top step. Oh wait, what? So I got another question from Bobby. He says, he says Hulu, but I'm gonna think he means you. So he says, do you run bibs or tubes during the GNCC races?
We run bibs.
Yeah. Does anybody run tubes?
I mean, none of the pros do.
No, okay, I didn't think so. No tubeless even, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, not that I know of. I don't really know anybody who runs a tubeless either.
Yeah.
It's too much of a, if you were to get a flat, that's
There's too much money involved to get a flat. So
yeah, exactly. So and the bibs are, they last a long time. So I can get almost a full season out of a set of bibs. So
What bibs are you running?
we run a Nitro Moose.
yeah, I got those in right now.
Yeah,
Never ran a bib.
Never?
Yeah, they're really good.
It's the way to go.
It's a little bit different feel than a tube, and it takes a little bit to get used to. But
It
I
does.
mean,
For me though, I'm obviously no XC top level GNCC racer, but when I went to bibs, I was a fast C rider, and I feel like mentally it took me to like another step up because I was no longer worrying about pinch flats. I was no longer worried about hitting a log or a rock wrong and getting a pinch flat. I could
yeah,
just
exactly.
be like, "There's a rock. I'm going to hit it. I'm going to bounce over it. And I'm going to keep going." Like I wouldn't slow down for it anymore, or try to de-weight the front end, so it kind of changed my racing style a bit when I went to bibs.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it takes a little bit to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's just you don't even notice.
Absolutely.
And Craig, what is your favorite type of riding? Do you prefer technical or do you like going fast?
I'm pretty short, so
Hey,
technical
welcome to
riding
the club.
technical riding doesn't really help me out very. And it's not one of my strengths, because I get on a hillside and I can't touch. So I mean, I like to do it, but to race it, that's not my cup of tea. So, but I like the GNCCs are good. I really enjoy the challenge of you know being in shape and riding fast and doing it for 3 hours. It's a challenge, but
What is your favorite GNCC of the year?
um that's a tough one. I mean, they're all pretty good. I mean, some are better than others, but to have a favorite GNCC, it's kind of tough because they all get so rough, and by the end of the race, you're just hating it.
Ready to be done.
Yeah, exactly. So
Me and Charlie were
um,
talking about doing the one in Crawfordsville, Indiana.
that one's good, but I mean, I'm not gonna say that it's a bad thing, but I think it's so many people there, it's unreal.
Yeah. Well,
It's crazy.
for us, we're in Southwest Missouri, and that's the closest. It's
Yeah,
only,
the closest one.
I think
Yeah.
it's 8 or 10 hours or something like that away, and then the next closest is the X Factor, which is a few more hours, and after that, it starts getting pretty far out there for us.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I mean, yeah, Ironman's good. I mean, it's the last one of the year. The dirt's usually really good, and yeah, I mean, it's a really good race. I mean, there's a lot of people there for a reason. So,
yeah,
I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, it's usually never, or I shouldn't say never, but it's usually not super cold, so it's not miserable. But I mean, it's the biggest race all year for a reason. So that's pretty much all I gotta say.
yeah. All right. Well, Craig, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate you coming on and taking your time to talk to us and kind of let us get to know you a little better. And we wish you the best of luck for the remainder of your season. All right.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me on.
Hey,
And,
thanks, Craig. Good luck. Go chase Ben Kelly down next weekend.
all right, thank you. I'll try.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Yep. See you.
Cool. I didn't realize that he's been after it for quite a while. I mean, you think
Yeah.
that his brother was doing it 6 years before he's been doing it, so he's kind of been in the scene for a while.
You know he's got to be fast chasing his brother down.
Oh man, there's a lot to that. It seems like, I'm the older brother, but I think there's something to it. Just kind of, you just learn by just watching and being there, and just knowing.
Watching's the best thing that you could do.
And just you learn things a little more natural, or you don't have to learn it the hard way. Like you said, he kind of learned from a lot of his brother's mistakes. And I think that would be nice that and not start when you're 33 helps probably.
Right.
Too.
I remember always, Spud used to always say, if you have somebody yelling at you, let them around and watch what they do, and it'll make you a better rider.
I try to do that, and then they keep just going away. Or I'm riding hard, and then I crash, and then I'm like, should not have been trying to chase him down.
Yeah, last weekend in Black Rock, Noah Clark came around me, and I think it was super muddy, but I only got to watch that youngin' for maybe 5 seconds, and he was just gone. It's like, how in the world do you go so fast in such muddy conditions?
So he was down there?
Yes.
Okay. Did he win?
Yes, he did.
Okay, yeah.
It was Noah Clark won, then Andrew Judy and Hayes Henderson took third.
Noah's blazing. All three. That whole Marionville Power Sports team, Nathan, Noah, and Travis.
They are some young studs.
I'm really looking forward to these next few years as they develop. You know, it's kind of like following Logan Lowry and his progression. Get better, Logan. Hope you are back on the bike. Well, obviously
he'll
not
soon, buddy.
But he'll quickly and get back on the bike in a timely manner. But it's kind of like Logan. You know, he was kind of at their level when I started racing. Right, he was fast and young and still had a lot of home support. And now he's doing his thing for, you know, the Enduro engineering team, right?
Yep. XC Gear, Enduro Engineering.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to those three guys. And you know, because I believe, like Nathan Rector right now, they were talking earlier about one of his teammates on Coastal Racing is on the four-stroke lights.
Yes, so they race with Nathan and Travis.
Yeah, correct. But I believe Nathan is leading the points right now in that class.
And that's awesome.
Yeah. So
Nathan.
Yeah. So you got fourth in that class last weekend. And then Travis not too far behind, a little tougher, but got eighth. And then Nathan was 45th overall. And I don't know what your thoughts are on this. I asked Ian last week. So like, you know, the goal is always like a top 10, right? For like a GNCC or for the National Enduro, right? We would love to see one of our local guys in the top 10. What do you think a National Enduro top 10 would translate into a GNCC top what? Like what would be equal?
I'd say at least top 30.
I said 30. So
if you look at a GNCC race, how big they are, I mean, how they drop each sections. I mean, their rows, I've never been, but on all the videos, they look like they're dang near 100 yards long.
It does.
It's like, that would be crazy.
Yes, for sure. Also, if you guys are watching this, I know we're probably about done here before too long, but go ahead and share, get the word out there, let people know about it, and share the love, and let people know about Enduro Talk. But yeah, so Travis, he's always been kind of more comfortable. So I was kind of surprised to see Travis eighth. He was eighth, not whole far back, long ways back, but you know he was 67th overall this past weekend. Yeah, at the X Factor, and I haven't really talked to him about his race yet. But no, I'm just kind of curious what if anything was a cause to be, because like they've been like literally like 2 or 3 spots apart. It's been
they go
kind of
back
amazing.
And forth.
So anyways, kind of curious what's going on there. And then another, he's not really a local, but it's kind of like how I adopt James King for local.
Yeah, he's close enough.
He's close enough. Well, yeah, for sure. And then Carlinville, Illinois. Do you know where that is?
No.
Most people don't. I happened to, because I lived there one summer. I worked at a coal mine. And that's where Carlinville, Illinois is. And so once he told me he works there or he lives there, I'm like, oh, I know where that is. But no, that's Ryland Frankfurt. He was there as well. So he got 82nd overall and 6th in his class in 200A.
Hey, so way to go, Ryland.
Yeah, and then Ryland's one of the guys. Have you heard of the Beta Cup, the 125 Beta Cup?
Yes.
So he's competing in that.
Oh, awesome.
Along with Huck, he's kind of out of the running for that now that he busted his hand or wrist up. And then Brock French are also
Yep.
doing that. And it's actually kind of cool. You can go and see now. They have like an actual class, Beta 125 Cup, on the National Enduro website. So you can kind of see what's going on there. And there's, I forget, it's like a kid in the junior. It's a not an A level rider. It's like a C level or somebody like that who's doing quite well in that series right now. So, or in that class. So
I bet that'd be a fun class, 125 class.
yeah, I would think so.
It might be scary for me, though.
I've never ridden a 125. I'd like to.
It's been years for me.
Yeah. But no, so that's kind of the local results we had for the national scene last weekend. You were down in Arkansas at what race?
Yes, we was in an AXC race in Black Rock, Arkansas, which is near Jonesboro.
Jonesboro?
Yep.
Okay.
It's about around 45 minutes from Jonesboro.
And it was a little muddy?
It was muddy. It was treacherous.
Yeah. And then how did you do?
I was second in the B35 class and finished 9th overall.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I had a pretty good day.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Noah so it's amazing. Like the nastier it is, the better those guys relatively they do, right? And you're just like, how are they doing it? Like, how do they turn and not just go flying off into the woods?
It was amazing. He came around me. I think it was my 3rd or 4th lap, and I was just like, "Holy cow!" The boy was flying.
Yeah,
he's got some talent.
He does. And then but last weekend was supposed to be the Blackjack Enduro Series. Of course, I knew this before the show last weekend, and we said it on the show. It got postponed. That is now going to be on November 24th. So mark your calendars for that if you're doing the Blackjack Series. So it got postponed. And then kind of surprised. No, I shouldn't say that. Not surprisingly, considering all the rain we got, Kilburn Woods also ended up getting postponed. There's a pretty substantial creek crossing at Kilburn Woods, and then there's a lot of field sections, and believe it or not, it's a working farm, and he does not want his fields just completely thrashed.
I can't blame him. That's his living, and plus, I don't know how you would have got through the creek section there and parking.
Parking, like no RVs, right? If you're more than like a single axle, don't even bother, right? You're gonna get stuck.
Yeah, be buried.
Yeah, so there was a lot of rain here, and it's been raining quite a bit here lately.
Hopefully it moves out. I'm sick of the rain.
Yeah, that's what Noah had a Instagram post saying, here in a few months we're going to be complaining about the dust or whatnot, and of course I'm like, well, I'm ready for some dust, but
me too. I'm sick of the mud.
Yeah, well, yeah, but then so Noah and Nathan Rector both vehemently disagree with me. They would much rather have the mud than the dust. But that's a lot of truth to that. But then again, I don't go as fast as them.
I don't either. So I do pretty good in the mud, and I don't mind the mud because I get to go slow.
Yeah, and Bob, first, you're 100% right. The Kilburn Woods has been rescheduled for August 11th, so mark that on your calendars as well. If the Missouri Hare Scramble series that you're doing this year, so that'll be nice and dry.
Nice hot race that week.
So, and personally, I think Kilburn Woods is it's not dusty, but dry. That place is 100% amazing. It is. It's one of my favorite.
I always like riding out at Vince's place.
Yeah, for sure. But on the flip side, we had a pretty wet race there for the Hillbilly, and it got slick at a few spots, but that track just holds together really well. So it could have definitely handled the race. It's the creek crossings and the parking that really canceled it. But, oh well, it is what it is. So, yeah, that's what's going on. And as I said a few times now, no racing this weekend. I don't know what are you going to do? I mean,
I'm going to take the weekend off this weekend.
Are you going to make it through okay?
I'll be just fine.
I think I might go actually, it's Mother's Day this Sunday.
It is. I'm going to go hang out with Mom this weekend.
There you go. So I am too. My wife and the kids are all going to Silver Dollar City.
Oh,
so
that'll be fun.
We're going to be elbow to elbow with a bunch of other moms and parents.
That place will be a zoo.
But it's my once or twice a year adventure that way. My family has season tickets there.
So do we.
But do you have season tickets?
I do, and I may only go once or twice.
So I use the guest passes. If you sign up like in December, even into January, I think you can get guest passes.
Yes.
And so they do that, and And yeah, I just like, all right, I'll do my obligatory trip down there. I enjoy it. Not as, I went there as a kid, and it's never going to be that,
Yeah,
in
it's
my
not as
head.
neat when you're an adult.
Yeah, like, wait, this is not how grandfather's cabin was, or treehouse, or whatever it is. Now and then of course some of the cooler things like that big net structure.
Yes.
That's gone now. I think a safety risk or something like
See,
that.
it's been so long since I've been there. I haven't been in probably 2 years, maybe 3 years.
Oh, really? Oh, so like have you seen that little thing where the balls kids are shooting like in the firehouse?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to go in there and just try to shoot kids with balls.
Pulverized kids.
Yeah, I'm the terror. So Justin agrees with Nathan and Noah, saying dust is dangerous. Yes, it is.
Dust is dangerous.
But just don't go so fast. But that's the thing. Like mud kind of limits your speed, right? Whereas the dust, it's your stupidity is the only thing that's limiting your speed.
Right?
So
And mud makes for a lot of work, bike work.
And you got to change more filters and everything else. And oh yeah. So I like with all this mud, I've been going like 3 races now in one filter. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take a little bit of mud.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather burn up some brakes than have to change air filter every week.
Yes, for sure. But no. So I think that's it. You got anything else?
No, I'm good.
Well,
It was a good time. Thank you, Charlie.
Tanner, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I did fix the scroll at the bottom, and now it says Tanner Hunt.
Hey, all right.
So I'm not completely incompetent, just mostly. So
No, I couldn't even figure none of this stuff out.
Oh, it's
I was blown away when I came in.
it's called trial and error.
Oh, I'm so computer illiterate, it ain't even funny.
So no, it did not happen overnight. I can tell you that there was a lot of testing that went happened to get this going on.
Well, you have a really cool show, Charlie.
Well, I appreciate you coming, and I'm glad you listened. If you're out there, I'm glad you're listening, watching, whatever, too. Be sure to tell your friends, family, whoever, your dog. I don't care. But tell people about it. Share it on Instagram, Facebook. Go on Reddit. Tell people about it. I don't know what you want to do. But just spread the word. Get the love out there. Grow the channel. Grow the show. Help me. And then hopefully I can get better and keep fixing my mistakes. Get the right classes for people. Can't believe I said XC3. It's so embarrassing.
Oh, well.
You got to get the intro right, man. It's like sets it off. So it's lessons learned.
He
Anyways,
seemed like a good kid.
yeah. So anyways, this is Charlie Hawkins, Tanner Hunt. Oh, I got to do that again. I keep. It's because I know you have a brother named Troy. Every sibling's like always get it wrong. And if I didn't know, and you two just happen to have the same last name, I would never mess it up. Anyways, Charlie Hawkins, Tanner Hunt. This is Enduro Talk. Thank you for watching. See you later. Bye.
See you guys.